So today I'm going to make orange and ginger marmalade. So I think somebody did watch my video about orange and wondering what I would do with it. So I do a lot of things with my orange. I use the whole thing except the C of the orange. Some of the navel orange variety, they don't have C in it. So like these one here, they don't. So what I do is that I'm going to use 2 of the same size orange. So roughly around 300 grams, yeah, 300 grams, and then a good size of like ginger, like that size. And make sure you get old ginger, simply because it's more flavor, more spicy, and you have more medicinal value with it. So what I do is that I chop them finely like this, and then I put them in the blender. Simply because I don't want blend like ginger blonde like chunk in my jam when I spread them. Well, you can have a little bit lump, but not a lot. So you pop it in there. The skin, you shred them as it is, because as you cook them, it will the peptide will release, and then dissolve, and then as you mix them, it's condensed, and then that way the orange is a little bit softer, whereas the ginger, they are not, they are fibrous, so they will remain the same. So you just peel, use the skin, and the rest of this you chop in a way where you can put it in the blender and blend them. So just pop it in. There we go. And I don't feel like I want to put water in this particular recipe, because I want to make them as pure orange as possible. So in the sense, I want it absolutely pure, authentically orange. So if one of those will be in one of those, one of these containers. So I'm gonna blend it, and then we'll see what we can do. So how I peel my orange is to cut the face off. Yeah, there you go. Cut the face off, and then just really peel them from the inside, so where you can have all the skin, that sort of thing. So I do the same thing with pomelo or mandarin. So all the citrus sort of like variety, I would do that. And I still want a little bit of like citrusy sort of like flavor, because citrusy, sweet, and a little bit of like spicy. I would add in 1 whole lime juice, so I'm gonna blend it as well. So I just cut them off. So the one I blend off is there, so I'm just add it in as I go, because like I said, it's not really enough fluid to cook and condense and make sure that the orange skin is absolutely soft. So I just pop it in. The smell of ginger is quite empowering, if you know what I mean. Like, it overtook the whole thing. So I'm gonna put in 1 lime. So most of the product we use, actually, fruit we use, actually came from our very own tree up in the property. So I'm just gonna get 1, just squeeze them in. Just 1 lime or 1.5 lime juice. You can use the skin if you want, but since I'm using a lot of orange skin, I won't do that. I just use only the juice, and the rest I will put it somewhere else. So I want to be like not super sweet, because I'm not a sweet, I don't have a sweet tooth, that sort of thing. But that should be enough. Let me try for another one. 1 1/4 of lemon. Then what I do is that I'm gonna put it back into the blender again and make sure I mash it up properly, and then I pour them in the pans with sugar and cook them. Just hang on. So in the pans here, I got 1 cup of sugar, brown sugar, a teaspoon of salt, add in all the orange skin. So my idea is to make around one sort of like one jar or a medium size and a bigger ones. Medium size and a smaller jar, and then I'll put it in all the orange juice smoothie with the ginger in here. Then after that, I'll just pop them on the stove in a medium sort of like low heat and stir them. And if it's too thick, what you can do is you still add water, because what you need to do is you need some fluid to dissolve or to cook the orange peels. So I just really want to make them real thick jam. And if you don't cook the skin properly, it will leave this bitter taste. But then again, this is a highly medicinal recipe, simply because they have more sugar, less water, but the bitterness is actually from the vitamin C of the peels, the inside part of the orange. So that is where all the vitamin C is. But then as we cook like this, we oxidize them, and then the peptin is actually released. So as you can stir, you can notice the sugar is actually dissolved, and you will start to see it's become more fluid. I think I might add 1 cup of water, leave it on low heat, and cook it, I think, probably for at least an hour on a low heat. Okay, I'll show you later what it looks like. So after 15 minutes, it's like this on a low heat. And you notice the skin start to become a little bit translucent. So what we want to do is we wait until the skin, the white bit translucent, and then we stop and we can jar them. At this very moment, you can see that it's a little bit thicker now. See? It's nice and clear, and the ginger is nicely dispersed. So we're just going to wait for another 20 minutes. So besides making jam and things like that, what other thing I do with my orange? So I make them into this orange soap. Yeah. So these are hot processed soap with sweet olive sort of like flowers and orange zest in it. So I also have passion fruit with orange and other herbs in here as well. So this is a very interesting hot processed sort of like soap. So, and here is another one. It's pretty much the same, but what I did was that I put in making a cold process. So with cold process, it look a little bit more, the colors be different. So this is the cure one. This is waiting to be cured, because you can see the gel state just started from here at the top there. So it's not ready to use yet. So yeah, but it's actually take longer to set. So it took me 3 days later to cut these one into this side of soap, whereas the hot process is a little bit bumpy. It doesn't look that nice compared to the cold process. You see there? However, you can use this pretty much quite immediately. So a lot of my friends really want to have one of these. So this is gift for my friends afterward. And I do put, well, I did put a few orange sort of like sweet orange scents in here, but because of the hot process, it's actually cook and deteriorate some of those essential oil. However, it smells like orange cake with passion fruit. I hope that makes sense. Whereas the cold press, it still have the similar orange sort of like smell to it, but it's sort of like deteriorate in a way during the process of curing. So these will take probably another 5 weeks to cure properly, and because we're winter, it's actually a little bit harder and might take a little bit longer for it to cure. But all these is actually really, really good. Like, it's feel nice in the hand. So because I use sunflower sort of like oil, coconut, and also olive oil, I use majority of them is sunflower oil. So this the oil and also shea butter as well. So when I wash my hand, I notice it's actually more dry on my skin. So this is probably very good for people who have oily skin, people who have like probably acne. So you can actually use on your face and it's drying up. And then what you do is you just need to reapply the oil to replenishing it. So this is for wet, socky skin, if you know what I mean. Or people who have like leg infection or cellulitis, these will actually tighten the skin or drying the skin and sort of like expressing or like pulling out the fluid in the leg. Why not? It's antiseptic. Quite very good for your skin for that sort of dry skin condition. So it's for like infectious, dry, sort of like sulky skin. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, if you just want to know how to make these lovely orange and passion fruit soap, let me know. I'll make one in the video next time. Yeah, now let's get back to the jam. So after shimmering for half an hour, I'm just going to put them in a jar or in a container of some kind and put them in the fridge for the next few days and have them with my breakfast or snack or something. So nice and yummy. So I got one in a small plastic container. This is purely for work, okay, for work. Nice and rich and bitter. And the ginger sort of balance out. So I'm going to put that in the fridge. So I end up with half a litre of marmalade in any container. So this is still super hot. So I'm going to leave it outside to let them make sure I get rid of all the bubbles. So I shaked it quite a lot to get out the bubbles. So with these one, I'm going to put it in the fridge. And I'm going to have them when it's actually much cooler down. Just have a look. So now, these are freshly baked dinner roll that I make. Yes, of course, it's banned simply because, like I said, I'm not very good with baking. But it sounds nice, why not? By the way, my dog loved these. I baked these and spread it with a little bit of like margarines or butter and then with Vegemite, and they just loving it. So these are the small container. I put them in the fridge. Actually freezer for this purpose. So I'm just gonna get some and spread it on top. It's still a little bit cloudy simply because, and it's still a little bit hot, simply because it's still quite hot, but because it actually tastes quite nice. So that was a reason why I'm gonna eat it now and then I'll put it back in the fridge later. So this is a little bit too much. And it's not as sweet as I anticipated. So I only use a cup of sugar. So it's not enough to form a crystallized, clear, sort of like marmalade looking consistency. But it still tastes good. So let me have a look. It's actually really good. It's like a bitter taste. I mean, I do love bitter food, so this is okay with me. The orange flavor is still intense. Simply because I did not put a lot of sugar in here. I only put a cup of sugar, then a cup of water, and the rest of them are actually the orange itself. And it actually tastes quite good. So there you go. That's my orange marmalade with 1 lime, a handful of ginger in the pot. Wait for 45 minutes to an hour. Make sure it all melts and nice and crispy, and you come out with something yummy like this. I hope you enjoyed my video. If you had a question or any tips or anything like that, let me know. I'll see you next time. Enjoy.